All right, what's up, everybody?
What's going
Sorry
on,
about the
everybody?
delay. I got Jaffy on here. We're going to talk about Ultramel, everything.
Yeah,
All right, everything good?
everything's good here.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Um, yeah, some technical difficulties, but we're here.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
All right. So I'm going to do some shout outs in the chat since there's a
For sure.
bunch. What's up, Amazing Feeders, Boza, Nana, Rudy,
What's going on, everyone?
John No H, Boza, Rob M. Oh, there's you, Jaffy.
Yeah, because I didn't have the link, so I was like, oh, I wanted to say hi to
Yeah,
everyone, but maybe you've seen the comments, so I said, yeah.
yeah, that's what. Anyway, what's
Yeah.
up, Terrence and Keisha, Keys Constrictors. What's up, Big D, Derek. All right. See, I don't see anybody else. All right, we got Casey, all to his glory. We got Chip. All right, and we got Jessica Ozak. Let's go. All right. So, where are you from, and how long you been keeping animals?
So I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I've been keeping reptiles. So I guess you can't really count it consecutive amount of years, but pretty much it's been like I'd say 7 years or so.
Okay.
So including like back in the day till now, or no, sorry, not 7 years. Like yeah, like around that.
All right. So,
Yeah,
going back in the day to now,
yeah. So
7 years
like
total. Okay.
yeah, because I had a leopard gecko. My first ever reptile was a leopard gecko. I had that since I think it was like grade 10 till like I think it was grade 11 or grade 12 or something like that. And
All right.
then
All
and
right.
then from then on it was snakes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I've had animal or reptiles forever. Like,
Yeah,
it's like 7 when I got my first snake. So I'm
yeah,
33 now. So it's been,
yeah. You
I
you
went
got some
from
years.
little tiny corn snake to everything behind me and beyond. So yeah, I mean
Yeah,
I understand that. Um, so you just work with ball pythons?
yeah. So technically, it's ball pythons. Like all I majority of it is ball pythons, but of course I want to get into other cool stuff. Like I do have a crested gecko that Elias keeps at his
Okay.
place because he breeds. So we have like a 1.1, and we're doing like a little fun project. But other than that, it's pretty much ball pythons. And then I'm also trying to get into green trees is my dream,
Oh,
and then
okay.
also Amazon basin boas.
Okay,
So
so
the
you,
tree.
you you're going for those not quite big but bitey type of animal.
Yeah, yeah. To me, it
The
doesn't really
beautiful
bother me.
snakes.
Yeah, I mean, it does bother me in terms of like when they're trying to bite you. Yeah, but for me, like just because an animal bites doesn't mean I don't want it. Like it doesn't matter to me. At the end
All
of the
right.
day, you know.
Yeah, I mean some of those arboreal pythons are and boas are beautiful.
Yeah, and you can imagine like having like a nice little like 1.2 collection is not crazy, but obviously for what it is, it means a lot. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
definitely want to have like a little small collection. Nothing too crazy, but who knows? You know how it is. You get one ball and you end up with 20. So it's the same with the
Yeah,
green
they like
trees.
Pokemon.
Yeah, even worse because now you gotta feed and clean them versus the cards. You just collect them, put them in a book.
Yeah. I understand that. I mean,
Yeah,
it went from a 3 tub rack to this, and then the future is coming.
yeah.
So, all right. So I know recently, you started breeding. your ball pythons. Do you have any lessons for the people like me that have just gotten into it?
Honestly, yeah, I see what. Yeah, so for me, honestly, like, how can I say, like, for me to give you something like I've learned over the couple months is even I'm still learning. So it's like, like a number one thing is literally like this is number one thing people need to understand is patience. If you got no patience, then like I'm a person who has zero patience. Like even fishing to me was so boring because after like 2 minutes, I get frustrated, so I can't fish. But like in general, your patience has to in a sense level up because you can't be within like for example, right? I bought my pair of Ultima Pi stuff like double head,
Mm-hmm.
and after a year of owning them, I got a clutch. So it's not like overnight, and then even at that, I missed the odds, so I didn't even hit the Ultima Pied. So now I have to shoot for it again next season. So it's all about patience, and just consistency. Because if you're slacking here and there, those times of slacking could definitely kick you in your butt.
And that's funny. My best friend just texted me, patience. So he
Yeah,
must be one of the
100%.
lurkers
Yeah, it's
on this
hard.
live. Remember to like, share, subscribe to both of us. Um,
Yeah,
that's funny. You mentioned patience, and my buddy texted me simultaneously.
yeah,
So, do you have somebody like aside from Billy,
yeah.
Austin, Elias? Do you have somebody else that you work with, or is it just that crew that you're
Yeah, in
working
terms
with
of
as like a mentor or something like that?
yeah, for sure. So like so for example, big shout outs to the family at Bomb Projects. I'd say me and Kylan are pretty close. We talk pretty much almost every day. We bounce ideas off of each other. He shows me stuff, I show him stuff, and you already know he's producing some fire stuff. So for me, it's mainly him showing me some crazy stuff, but I get to squeeze in some stuff here and there. And then there's another ball python breeder, boa shot reptiles.
Okay.
That's another guy I'm pretty close to. We talk pretty much the same thing almost every day. He has a crazy collection, especially because like you and me, we're Ultramel, Team Ultramel. So he has a ready to breed lavender. Sorry, a leopard Ultramel clown,
Nice.
Ultramel clown. He had a breeder pin Ultramel clown from years ago. So I bounce ideas off of him for the Ultima stuff, and just a lot of other people too. Shout outs to Kyle Hoffman, who's producing some absolute crazy stuff. And there's more, but just to keep naming them is just gonna go on and on. But
So,
those are the
so,
main ones I
so
talk
you're doing more of a group thing.
in terms of like communicating with them, or
Yeah, communicating with everybody, bouncing ideas off of everybody instead of just like one specific person.
yeah, like like for example, I have another group I'm in is with Matt, Matt, Mike, and Justin. So we also talk like they're usually DG kind of people. So well, me and Mike are Ultramel, but Matt and Justin are DG people. So we
Okay.
kind of bounce ideas, kind of troll in between. But yeah, like it's a lot of at the end of the day, having friends in this industry is the main thing of pushing you forward because you could do this by yourself, yes, but just to have that ability to communicate with people, bounce ideas off of, seeing what projects they're into, it definitely helps you a lot in terms of motivating you and just to give you a different path. You could go one path and then switch it out. So yeah,
All right. So we're gonna briefly touch on this before we move on to more snake talk.
for sure.
Just for brevity's sake,
Yeah,
since I know I only have you for about 40 more minutes. So, um, you have a YouTube channel.
yeah.
What do you use to edit your videos and sort of make your thumbnails, that sort of thing?
So to edit, I just use iMovie. Pretty
Okay.
simple. Takes me like, it depends, of course, on how long the video is, but it's like 10 minutes. And luckily, my wonderful girlfriend is actually a designer, so she is able to make me some thumbnails if she's not tired from work.
All
So I
right.
definitely have, the a good opportunity in terms of like that's how I get some fire looking thumbnails. And she just thinks I say that just to boost her to do more, but I genuinely think they do amazing. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I like them. You know, I definitely
appreciate it.
picked up watching your channel, and you know, you have some, you know, thumbnails that are like phenomenal, like
Yeah,
where you put yourself in the, you know, in the thumbnail as well,
yeah,
and it fits the video. So
yeah. I appreciate it.
I,
Yeah, you can definitely see the ones I do and the ones she does. So
I mean, you
yeah,
can see the ones I do, and they've gotten better, but
I think
I
we
don't
gotta
know.
learn.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah,
But the last thing before we get into, you know,
for sure,
heavily into ball python genetics,
for sure.
do you have any advice for anybody, you know, in the chat or somebody like me who's just, you know, relatively new and starting a YouTube channel, as far as, you know, when to put out content, how much, how often, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so for example, if you want to start off with YouTube, I'd say just do it. Don't think too much about it. At the end of the day, you're not gonna like, for example, my views aren't like crazy, right? So you'll have some videos that'll do good, some videos that do okay, and then like shout outs to the Key Constrictor family, and they do lives. So even with lives, they grew exponentially. So that's an amazing channel to do it. Like, you know, just to have that kind of family in every Friday. You know, you as well. We're on there all together and we're enjoying ourselves. And of
Yep.
course, they don't do videos in terms of like, you know, updates and stuff, but you're still able to grow exponentially. So that's a big shout out to them. They're doing it and they're killing it too. So it's like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
just do it and don't think too much of it. And obviously, of course, you got to be consistent.
Yeah, I think
That's the thing.
that's been the main thing I've realized. And shout out to Terrence and Keisha from Keys Constrictors, because
Yeah,
they may not have been consistent on the actual videos, but
exactly,
every Wednesday and every Friday they are
exactly,
live, um,
exactly,
and you can see what that's done for them in their channel.
exactly.
It took them what, under a year to get monetized. So I
Yeah,
mean that's incredible. So I mean
exactly.
that's an example to follow. All right.
Yeah,
So everybody wants to hear about snakes. So
yeah.
we'll do that. So, um, what is your favorite incomplete dominant that you're working with, and what's one that you'd like to add in the future?
So my favorite incomplete is definitely Enchi. I'd say Enchi pretty much number one. Of course, different combos, different, you know, at the end of the day, the base gene, it's probably like a good quality Enchi is real
Huh?
nice. And in terms of adding, it's hard to say because there's so many genes out there. And the ones that are out there is, you know, it's hard to choose from. But I maybe say something like in the darker gene, like Stranger or something around that. I
Yeah,
would
or
like to add, especially.
stranger static acid
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Confusion is definitely up there too with like because I have
Mm-hmm.
confusion here, and it's definitely up there with the Enchi too.
Okay.
But I don't
Yeah, I
want
mean that's after seeing Dale from Butcher's brand name
CD
Constricted
Constrictor
Rep. Yeah.
or
Seeing that acid ultramel.
yeah,
Okay, that was like I have to get acid into my collection to make something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
That's what I plan to do.
so I mean that was just like to see that and give me some validation for working with ultramel was just
Yeah.
so. I mean, do you feel anything in the incomplete dominant um, is slept on? Like, is there some gene we should be working with that
For
we're
you mean
not?
like a codon?
Yeah, for a codal.
Honestly, they're all pretty much worked with. Like you know, of course, I probably say Hurricane more. Hurricane's not really slept on, but because the price tag, of course, is high, it's not an easily obtainable gene. But in my opinion, it's definitely one of. It's like you know, that's why what I got is literally what I would assume would be the next big codom, like Hurricane Confusion, and she of course is already big. And
Mm-hmm.
funny enough, because I'm big into Ultramel, Pastel works amazing with Ultramel, and then Leopard. Leopard is crazy in Ultramel too. So
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I have all those, and I'm getting Trick in a GHI. girl in a couple weeks. So you mentioned like Hurricane is at like the price point is slept on.
Yeah.
But would you recommend Blitz or Tricks? Is their lines of the same thing?
So funny enough, I actually used to work with Blitz back in the day. If you go on World on Ball Pythons, you can probably see a couple of the ones that produced Worlds first. So I hit, I think it was a Blitz Enchi, a Blitz Calico, a Blitz, I think it was Spot Nose, and then a Blitz Spot Nose Vanilla.
Okay.
So in terms of, that's why when I seen Hurricane, I was super drawn into it because if I was in the game like I was this whole time, then of course with the Blitz Eye stuff I made, I could have put that into Clown and already had Clown combo Blitz. But it is what it is. But that's why when I came back, I really was drawn to Hurricane, and that's why I plugged that into my Clown stuff, which she was head Clown, of course. So I was like, super excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, I like when I saw that Trick GHI, I was like, "Yep, mine."
Yeah.
Adding that into hopefully Ultramel, but I mean, if I had a Clown Hypo in the future, then probably going to lean that route, at least for that first pairing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No,
I like that whole Hurricane Blitz Trick combo.
Yeah.
Definitely something, works with Clown.
Exactly.
Like you said.
Yeah.
So we know, I wanted to do this perfectly where I would say Ultramel 3 times, and then Jaffy showed up in the stream, but I had technical difficulties in the computer. So, besides Ultramel,
yeah,
what is your favorite recessive that you're working with?
I'd say probably Clown. Clown is definitely, it's right now it's probably number one recessive worked with. Under Clown would be Pied. It's probably neck and neck, but I'd say Clown is definitely my second. Which, like my dream project would be the Ultimate Clown Pride, but other than that triple, it'd be the Ultimate Clown. Even though I missed the Ultimate Pied, I was shooting for Ultimate Pied. Of course, it's just Ultimate Pied is literally just under. It's just a simple fact that Clown, when you put combos in it, it only gets better. Versus Pied, sometimes you can hit a 4 gene banger Pied and it's just a patch on the head.
Right, and you have no clue.
Yeah,
what you actually hit.
Exactly.
I was, high white Pied gang for the longest time.
Yeah.
When I was new.
Yeah.
Now I'm like low white.
Yeah.
Give me that little white spot.
Low.
It's more than a ringer. So I can tell what the heck might be in there.
Yeah. I'm medium to low.
All right. So I mean, you mentioned you're messing with Ultramel, Pied. Any other recessives like G Stripe?
So I do have Ultramel Pied, and then I have it's a lavender het Pied female. So that one was actually a gift I did to my girlfriend when it was her birthday last year. So it's a cool little project. Like I'm not huge into the dream stuff. Of course, I do also own double het. So 1.1 Pied double het MJ Exantic lavender.
Okay.
But that's more of a like a little fun project to hit the snow Pied. And then of course I have the lavender het Pied. So other than those two, I don't really. And then I have a clown Pied het hypo female I'm raising up too. But her, I bought it just to think like, okay, maybe I'll do something with her in the future. So I still don't have a confirmed plan, but I'll probably run her to an Ultima Clown. By then I'll have one, or anything like that.
See, that's what we always say about Ultramel everything. We may have these other recessives, but at the end of the day, that's what we're working towards.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a possible double head dreamsicle clutch in the incubator.
Yeah.
It's probable at best, but it's still something I can work with, maybe.
Yeah.
At least if it's Pied, which is what I'm hoping for. That I can bring back into Ultramel. I mean, if it is lavender, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, then I can do put Clown into it and make rails and all sorts of crazy stuff.
For sure, yeah.
So it's one of those. I'm not complaining if it's a bad clutch, but I won't be complaining either if it's nice.
Yeah.
Just a free mail that I wound up getting that I didn't expect. So we paired them, and that's what we have in the incubator for year one.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay.
People texting me. Sorry, I'm blowing through these things. I know Jaffy has to. He's got date night tonight after we're done with this, so I want to make sure that he gets it. It's a nice dinner, and isn't late.
Yeah.
All right. So, what pairings this year were you the most excited about? Was it the Ultra Clown, Ultra Pied? I know I watch a bunch of your videos, and normally you're a little delayed from when stuff actually happened to when you post them. So, I mean, you can share what you can, what's already out there in the world.
For sure.
Don't give us any surprises for your future content.
Yeah, for sure. So I already posted this video. I have a hurricane het clown female, laid 9 eggs, and she was bred to a fire Batman. So that clutch is due, like you said. I had that one recorded a little bit ago. So that one is roughly 5 weeks away from hatching. So that's definitely a crazy clutch. I'm hoping to hit the fire hurricane Batman and anything hurricane clown combo. Ideally, if I can hit a hurricane fire spot nose clown female, I'll definitely hold that back, put that into the ultimate clown stuff. And then also I'm waiting on a girl pastel confusion het clown bred to the same male fire Batman. I'm hoping to hit the firefly confusion Batman or just any confusion combo clown. And those two are the last clutches. So I'm waiting for that girl to lay the pastel confusion. She's like on day 48 or something. So she's definitely holding on to those eggs. And the hurricane, like I mentioned, she's due within 5 weeks. And then the other 3 clutches, they already hatched out and everything. So yeah, I'm next year. I'm definitely shooting for the ultimate clown stuff. My male, I was using the pastel leopard clown 66% het ultima. I didn't see him lock once with the 2 Enchi double het. So I just, as soon as he started eating again, I just said, yeah, I'll just wait till next year.
He did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I have one clutch that or one potential clutch I'm confused as heck about. I saw multiple locks earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Thought what I saw was an ovulation, and then she shed and ate twice since then. So I know.
Yeah. For me, I didn't even see no locks. So in your case, it's rough. But in my case, I didn't even get no locks, no nothing.
Yeah.
But I know of course.
But yeah, I mean that's one of the things we deal with here when we're pairing, breeding. Sometimes we'll get something, sometimes we won't.
Yeah.
And sometimes they, for whatever reason, don't lock, and we gotta wait till the next season. So
yeah, it could be like with those 1.2. I started them pretty late. Like I only started pairing them like I think it was like 2 months ago. So before that, they never paired, the whole season. So it could just be like I waited too long or whatever the case was. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, they're big now. They're mousers, but they smash like 2-3 mice a week. So even if they can go next season, then they'll probably lay a good sized clutch, and I'll definitely hit. Hopefully, if the male proves out, but I think he will.
So you said they're both mousers.
Yeah, sadly.
Have you tried anything to get them to switch over?
Yeah, I tried everything. Like I tried literally everything. Like of course not like chicks or gerbils or anything, but like the one female. The one female I got actually was the one Enchi double het I got last year November, and I was told she eats ASF, so I kept giving her like ASFs, and then like within like 2-3 weeks I'd give her ASF every other week and just try just to see she wasn't eating, and so for like a couple months she never ate, and I given her rats, frozen thawed ASFs, live ASFs, frozen thawed rats, live rats, everything, and then eventually I kind of asked, and he said, have you tried a mouse? And as soon as he said that, I'm like, yeah, she was probably a monster this whole time.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I've gotten some that were the same boat. I won't mention breeder I got them from, but
yeah, me
like
too.
for the
That's what I'm saying.
longest time,
Yeah,
it's like you're taking this tiny rodent and you're growing.
yeah.
Luckily, I breed my own rats, so
I
I
wish I
have
could.
typically appropriately sized prey for every
Yeah.
animal in my collection. You know, either live or frozen. I'm assuming that you don't do that,
No, I
and
don't
you just
breed.
get your feeders as need be.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine. I mean, a lot of people do that. I mean, it's a pain in the butt breeding rodents.
I
And,
personally would rather breed them because then
yeah.
yeah, for 100%, I'd rather breed them because, like, let's say for example, right, you buying a rat or whatever the case is, whatever rodent, you don't know realistically what that rodent is eating. So that rodent could be, and I'm not saying anything about anybody's rats or whatever the case is, but it's just, when you would like, how good does it feel growing your own vegetables and then making a salad out of that? So it's like just to know the fact that these rats are clean. If there's anything that's messed up, it's because it's you versus it being someone else. So I personally would rather breed my own, even if it does make me work like 2 hours every other week or every week or whatever the case is to clean them. To me, it doesn't matter because I know for sure my rat or my snakes would eat good. But
Right. Okay. That's a
nothing
new.
wrong.
That's something new that I haven't really. It's not something I've heard before. Like we
Yeah,
grow our own garden for ourselves. Let's grow our own garden for our
yeah,
snakes.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. I mean, I like that.
yeah,
You can, you make sure you're fertilizing your garden, right? So
for
you're
sure.
eating healthy food. So you
Yeah,
make sure that, when you breed these rats and rodents,
you know what's
they're
going
eating
in.
well. Therefore,
Yeah,
your snakes eat well. All
100%.
right. All
Yeah,
right. Like I said, that's something new that I haven't really, I didn't think about it that way. I knew,
yeah,
getting, food for your snakes, excuse me, the best quality that you can get. But I
yeah,
didn't really think of it like that same way. So that's cool.
yeah, yeah.
All right. What's up, friend AJFNA? Let's see, get you on here. Thanks for
What's
tuning
going on,
in.
guys?
So like I said, this was one of these. I was late, and this is one of the quicker lives we have to go through due to time constraints. But I will show up in Ultramel. I know Jaffy fed his snakes
Yeah,
earlier tonight, so unfortunately we may or may not be able to see some. But just to keep it Ultramel everything. Here's mine.
the pin ultra
Yeah, that's the Ultramel pin.
height or anything or
No, it's just the Ultramel pin.
okay, yeah, that looks cool.
That's what's going to literally almost everything this coming season.
Yeah,
Cinnamon, Hyde, and various other things. But I mean,
yeah.
back
Ultra
here,
with dark jeans look crazy.
yeah, like I said, I'm getting that trick GHI, and I'm really interested to see what that would look like. I mean, I know somebody's made a Hurricane
Hmm.
Ultramel
Yeah,
already, so can't do
yeah. I've
world
seen
first in
the
that line, but to do
yeah,
something like that, yeah.
yeah. I've seen someone Dean over in I think it's Netherlands. He hit a stranger ultra and that thing was crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing I'm like looking forward to try to do um, with Ultramels, like bring in those genes that
Yeah,
maybe people wouldn't work with. I mean, Stranger and Hurricane, that stuff makes sense, but like bringing in like Nanny or Bongo, some
yeah.
other genes that people might not
Work with.
really think about.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously, like Enchi and there's various genes that I would work fine, but like, what's that oddball gene that you can bring in that you
yeah,
wouldn't think about, where you can make a nice snake and potentially world's first dog just shake it himself out?
yeah, yeah. You heard him?
Yep.
He's sat beside me near me.
All right, how's he doing?
He's good. He's just he's sleeping on the floor. He got off from the sofa and then he went there.
Hey, Dad was doing a live stream, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Rob asked if you're feeding it live or frozen thawed. Does it matter?
So
Um,
for me, I actually feed both. So give you an example. So the stuff I that won't take live, sorry, the stuff that won't take frozen, I give live, and then the
uh,
stuff that do frozen, I give them frozen. So it's the pie double head, the two pies double heads. They eat frozen. She's growing like crazy, and then who else eats frozen? There's another one who eats frozen, but pretty much I want to get those babies I hatched out frozen too. So I want to get them all frozen. But other than that, pretty much everything else is live.
yeah, I mean, I think I've got at least a couple weeks ago. I got everybody to take a frozen thawed meal
Yeah,
after doing live for like the longest time, or like fresh killed. Um,
yeah. Oh, that's how you feed fresh killed?
it depends. So I will feed live for the ones that won't eat
Yeah,
anything else.
yeah,
Obviously to instill that prey response. Um, and then sometimes I'll do fresh killed, just so it's still warm.
hmm
It still has that scent. It hasn't been in my freezer for a couple months, or
yeah.
weeks, or whatever. And if nobody's taking that one, uh, then it'll go in the freezer. And then I have ones that will eat that.
Okay.
So there's
Yeah.
I don't want to waste. I don't want to thaw something out.
hmm
Nothing's going to eat it, and then it's wasted. So I want to avoid that. So that's why I
Yeah,
do it the way I do when I can.
yeah,
That
for
makes
sure.
sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. Honestly, feeding live is obviously the most convenient because you just throw it in and close it. But like a lot of these ball pythons, they're pretty much chickens. Like like one touch on their lip, they just no, I don't want to eat no more. Like it's you got to be careful. Like some of them I have, it's like you can like that hurricane girl. She's like, well, she laid so she's lighter than she was, but when she strikes, even a small rat, like sometimes the tub or the rack shakes. So with those ones, it's like they don't they don't care what it is. But there's some like this. I think it's mostly the smaller ones. They care if it's a little bit too big or something, then they freak out a little bit.
Yeah,
So that's why it's hard.
after my girl laid, I had a like an appropriately sized rat,
Yeah,
or wean or something like that. It was something smaller, and she's like, "Nope, I don't want this."
yeah.
So I
I
went
usually start them
even
off wean.
smaller, and she flew out the tub at it.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's just weird. And then I have like ones that'll eat ones that are rats that are much bigger than you would think,
yeah.
and
It's
they'll
weird.
pound it.
I
So
know it's weird. They all
like,
have different personalities.
yeah, I mean, it's just figuring out your thing.
Yeah,
You have one that'll might take a smaller rodent more often than it won't, and you have one that'll eat a big one every so often.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I find that like interesting with trying like everybody's all back on food for the most part, aside from
yeah.
that may or may not be grabbing. So I don't know
Even
what. So
even for some of them I have, like they don't double feed. Like for example, if somebody doesn't want to eat, you're not just gonna, I guess you could put it in the freezer, but I'd rather just I've done it where I put it in the freezer, like, obviously euthanize it. But
mhm.
sometimes I just want to double feed another one. But sometimes they just, nah, I want one only. But the big girls, like, they eat like two. If you could give, like, the hurricane one time, I gave her a small, and then right after a small, I forgot who didn't eat, but it was like a weaned I gave, and she took that too. So some of them, they, especially after laying, if you give them like a week off, like right after laying, for me, it seemed to work. They eat right after that, and then they go crazy for the food. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, just having that variety and
yeah,
the ability to
choose.
feed whatever I need to, it's
Yeah,
certainly helped a lot, especially with my boa who was on I think like mouse pinkies when I got him like 3 years ago,
yeah,
and he was eating them forever. until I finally had I was producing my own rats, and he finally was taking an appropriately sized meal. So that was really like he finally got big. He's still a little
it's
butthead, but
crazy.
he's
Yeah,
normal size now.
yeah, it's crazy how fast they grow. Once you give them smalls, they grow like crazy. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
just getting to that small.
I have one of my 2021s OD double head or OD possible double head clown hypo. That's the same size as my black pastel girl, as like a year older.
Yeah,
Just
it's
based on
crazy.
getting that food regimen in.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
All right. So I mean, you already mentioned how often you're feeding.
Yeah,
We've sort of been
once a week.
blowing through these questions a little quicker. Um,
Yeah,
you said every week.
yeah. So I feed every week.
Now I know Austin said something similar where he's feeding every week but smaller. So are you still doing that same feeding every week but smaller prey items rather than like a small rat or a medium rat every
Yeah,
week?
no, yeah. So for example, right? So the stuff that are obviously breeders, I don't give them nothing bigger than a small. Because sometimes you'll see people feed and you see like a huge lump in them. I never do that. I think, not to say that's wrong, but just me personally, I just don't do that. Worst case or best case scenario, I'll probably double feed. But even double feeding, you don't really see anything else. But
Right.
the smaller stuff, I sometimes like to do every 5 days, just to give them that little boot. Like for example, like sometimes people, if you buy an animal from someone, they're obviously not gonna feed it like it's their holdback. They're gonna feed it like it's for sale. You know what I mean? So you could buy an animal that's a year old, and it's like 300-400 grams, versus something in your own collection that's a year old that could be 700-800 grams. So just to get them to catch up to that size, I'll do every 5 days. Then once they're at that stage where I'm like, okay, they look good, I'll do once a week. And like I said, I don't do anything larger than a small. So you could be 3,000 grams, and I'll still give you a small.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
of course a bigger small.
it's bigger small
Yeah.
and
No pun intended.
almost medium.
Yeah. I guess it's a biggie small.
I mean, like a medium rat is pretty
It's
darn
huge.
big.
Huge.
I mean, a full-grown rat is, we're talking blood pythons or like voltas.
Oh yeah.
Very few ball pythons can
It's
actually take down one of those.
That's a chihuahua. That's no rat anymore. That rat can fight you.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think I want to switch over eventually to ASFs, just because how big they get, they're still manageable and something I can eat them.
Yeah. I actually have an ASF. It's a pain in the butt, but here they charge like 5 something for one adult ASF, and they're not even huge. They're like 40 grams.
Wow.
So you gotta pretty much double feed in order for them to gain a decent amount of weight.
So I think for me, I did the math on what my cost for feeding live or having live is. And I think I'm at 50 cents per rat.
That's not bad at all.
So for those of you that can do it, do it.
Yeah.
Once your collection gets to a certain size, you almost have to. It's just cost effective. Yeah, you can deal with. They smell.
Yeah.
I will not, lie about that, but definitely.
Yeah.
Is that your girlfriend popping in the back?
Yeah,
all right.
She's getting ready.
Getting ready for dinner. All right. Let's see. Hensler saying.
Yeah, no, that's 100% the key. I mean, which is not wrong, but obviously, when you have hundreds of snakes, you can't feed everyone like it's your own.
Right.
So it's obviously not. It's not like they're underfeeding it,
but you're maintaining rather
you're
than
maintaining. Yeah,
growing.
I mean, it still grows, but you know what I mean. Like you feeding because it's your own, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow like real good. But obviously, when you're selling it, you don't want to it's fair, like 100% fair. It's not, it's a difference if they're a year old and they're like 100, 200 grams. Okay, then at
Right.
that point, you're feeding it just to survive.
I
But
think
if it's like,
that's a big red flag when you see one that's like a year or almost 2 years old and should
yeah,
be close to breeding size, depending
yeah,
on male or female,
yeah,
and it's still like 200 grams.
yeah. Well, I mean, if it's 2 years old at 200 grams, I don't think that snake should even be sold. If it's like 800 grams at 2 years old, that's not bad.
Yeah, for a
Because it
female. Yeah,
still, yeah, it still has age. It's just once you get her, you just obviously give her some good amount of food and she'll be ready. So it's just like under, like I think at a year old, if it's like minimum 400 or 500 grams, it's not bad. But of course, you can personally get it up to like 600 or 700 grams, where it should be. They should be gaining like 700 a year, in my opinion. Like meaning a comfortable weight. Of course, there's something gonna be growing. Like I've heard cases where a snake grew, I think it was like 1,800 grams in 1 year, which is
that's insane.
probably a little too wild. But but at the end of the day, like I can't tell them what to do. That's just me personally. I wouldn't do it.
Right. I mean, you don't want to like power feed to the point where
Yeah,
your snake is far too big.
and they're walking, they're slithering like this, like yeah,
You don't want your animals being obese.
yeah.
Um,
But they'll stop eating if they don't think they need it. So either way, they know what they're doing. The snakes themselves.
yeah. I mean, they're not like our dogs, which will eat until they. I'm pretty sure
100%.
Stella will eat until she
No,
is
yeah,
obese or dies.
Leo,
These snakes
literally.
won't eat
Yeah.
as much.
No, it's for sure. It's funny too.
But I definitely have some that will. Everything just ate the other day. I'm pretty sure I could go find a rat and throw one into one of them and maybe eat again.
Yeah.
Regardless if they just ate. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to actually have people ask me back in the day, like, "Oh, what do you feed your snakes? Do you just go in the street and find rats?" I'm like, "What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, why would anybody go? Number one, why would you go out and find a rat in the wild? Like what? Like, where are you gonna go search up? Like, doesn't would you go out and find a chicken to
You'll
eat?
find them
Like,
sewer rats.
yeah, like what? Like, how does that even make sense? I think they're just trying to troll at the same time. They're probably asking genuinely. So I was like, what? What are you asking me?
Yeah, I mean, my friends and family outside of this hobby are like, "Wait, you have rats and roaches?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah,
Because I gotta feed everything, and I'd rather
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
control that
yeah.
environment. So yeah, I mean, it's just funny. We're all weird in our own sense when it comes to things we'll do for animals, but
100%.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were late because of myself and some technical difficulties. I promised Jaffy he'd get out of here at 7 so we could get dinner tonight. So we're gonna start to wrap this up. And
Just playing with you.
I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, I'm playing with my dog. I thoroughly enjoy that. I do get to see him, every Thursday or Friday on, Thursdays or Hair Down Fridays, and I can pick his brain a little bit more. So we're gonna move to finish this off. I wish it could have been longer, but like I said, I'm a butthead. It was late. So where do you see yourself within the next 5 years as a breeder?
So within the next 5 years, I definitely see myself, one, in a bigger space, so I can actually, have my own house, whatever the case is, and then maybe even a little facility. I can build it outside, but whatever the case is. But I also see myself not only breeding ball pythons, but like I mentioned, I want to have green tree pythons, Amazon basin tree boas. I want to have, just miscellaneous stuff here and there. Just like me as a person, I've always liked to keep stuff small, because then it doesn't become more of a chore. It's just kind of like just a relaxation time. It takes me
Right.
to clean everything. It takes me like 20 minutes, and that's even like that's nothing. So it's just
That's
all about.
actually incredible.
Yeah, because like of course everybody doesn't poo and pee at the same time. So if it's like I only got what, like not even 20. Like obviously of course the babies, but other than that, I only got, I think it's like 12 snakes or something.
Yeah,
So
I have I think 14 right now, but I have a bunch of other animals. So like deep cleaning day,
Yeah.
I get extremely proud of myself for like cleaning everything, filling up the dumpster outside, and everybody poops.
Yeah. So definitely in 5 years, I want to get that. Of course, grow my collection to have crazy stuff, and then
All
of
right,
course have an ultra pied clown. That would be
all
my
right.
main goal. And
You know what? I will bet on you. I will say you will hit that before I do,
I appreciate it.
and I hope you do. Uh,
Yeah.
just because you're actually actively working towards that, and I have to make a bunch of other stuff before I can make
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I'm really like excited to see what you're doing. Ultramelon, your double, triple recessive with it. Um,
Appreciate it.
every time I see your face on a thumbnail, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be exciting. It's gonna
Yeah.
be, I'm gonna be, I don't know. Like I see that, and normally you're talking about these videos beforehand, and so I'm waiting for
Yeah.
to find out if you're really happy or you missed something. So I mean, I look forward to that,
I
and
appreciate
I
it.
look forward to see you growing more in the future with Ultramel. Definitely.
Appreciate it.
All right, and we're gonna try to squeak these next 4 questions in 4 minutes.
Yeah. No
Um,
problem. We can take a little longer.
all right. So are there any shows you plan on attending in Canada or you know vending, even if it's just helping out with
Yeah. So we do have the CRBE. It's like equivalent to our Tinley.
okay.
It happens every year in September, and so I definitely will be at Billy's table. So mutation creation. I'll hopefully have some animals for sale also with my stuff. And I only got like maybe like I think it's what 9 babies to sell. So it's not like I have a crazy amount of number, but I do definitely have some good stuff. I'll also be releasing the Fire Batman breeder male, and then the Cinnamon
Oh,
the Het Clown breeder female, and then the Pastel Enchi double het Ultima Pied breeder male. So those are for the adults, but the babies, you've seen the babies I have. And I definitely plan to go to Tinley in October. Me,
you hear that?
Austin, yeah,
Everybody in the
me-
chat.
yeah.
Now,
So
who else is joining your entourage down in Tinley in
yeah, so
October?
Austin Elias will I'll be going. I think we're gonna be driving there, so I think we're gonna be hitting up. Is it Reptarium? A Brian's place.
Yeah, that's
Forgot
the
the name.
Reptarium. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, because for us it's literally on the way. So
Yeah, so
we're
you're
gonna
coming over from what like Windsor
Detroit.
s?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah, that makes
we
sense.
just
Right
drive
there.
down to Windsor, and then I think from Detroit it's another 4 hours. So it's just on the way, and then yeah, we're gonna stay there. Hopefully, a couple of days. Definitely see everyone in Tinley, and hopefully not. I can't buy. I shouldn't be buying anything more, but who knows what
You will.
happens.
It's
So
Stanley, and it's the one where everybody's got babies. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. All right. Man, I've been trying to make it to a big show. Uh, really happy that you guys can go do that.
yeah,
So it should be fun,
yeah.
definitely.
It's not gonna be easy, but we'll do it.
You make it work, right?
Yeah,
All right. So I know in the description below I posted, I believe, your Facebook and Instagram.
yeah.
Where else can people find you on social media?
So definitely YouTube. YouTube is
I
something
didn't even say that.
yeah, no, it's all
It's
right.
down there too.
Yeah, so YouTube is definitely something I use more than Instagram. Instagram, I post stories, but even that I barely do sometimes. I just always been a person where I never really was into like I had them. I had social medias, but I never really posted much. But of course, with this hobby, it's nice to post stuff, show people what you got. So YouTube is definitely the best place to catch me. I post every week, except of course this week, but only because I was supposed to have a video ready for this week, but the female confusion didn't lay, so of course I just didn't want to post something random. So I'm hoping I'll start again, and then of course with babies coming, I'll be posting availability in terms of what babies will be posting. What babies will be available. So stay tuned for that video too. And yeah, so YouTube's my main one, but yeah, like you mentioned, YouTube, Instagram, and then Facebook.
All right, all right. Any final words for the audience before I let you go and you have I assume a nice steak dinner.
Yeah,
Your
we're actually
girlfriend.
funny enough. Someone in your comments said they were waiting for. I think it was like lobster biscuits. This was earlier on the comment,
Is
and
that Nicole?
yeah, Red
Nicole's
Lobster
usually talking
biscuits.
about eating seafood on Sunday nights.
No, I don't think it was Nicole. It was someone else. But we're actually going to Red Lobster, so
All right.
I don't even know what we're eating. But yeah, I'm gonna go. But
All
yeah,
right.
so other than that, it's just if you guys can subscribe to my account. Of
Definitely.
course, subscribe to this account too. Don't forget to hit that like button, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and at the end of the day, enjoy yourself. There's nothing more I love in this hobby right now is the friendliness. Because back in the day, it was not like this. Everybody was pretty much cutthroat. So it's definitely enjoy yourself, be happy, smile, even if you're cleaning poo. Because like for me, when I had no reptiles, it was sad, and I like weirdly enough to say like I miss cleaning poo. So it's like it's definitely my little zone where I can go and hang out. So other than that, just keep a positive vibe, smile, and yeah.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I know
Appreciate you.
everybody probably would have liked to see more Ultramel stuff, but unfortunately,
Yeah,
feeding day, it happens. But if you want to see all that stuff, definitely check my man Jaffy out on his social media channels that he just mentioned.
for
I will
sure.
let him go for the night. Enjoy your dinner, and
Oh,
I
thank
will
you.
wrap the show up and do my shout outs.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, see everyone.
All right. That was fun. Tim, you're late. We had to make this one early and quick due to Jaffy's time schedule and him wanting to get to dinner. So thank you all again for joining. Remember to like, share, subscribe to both myself and to Jaffy's channels. And before I head out and get some much needed water that I ran out of, be sure in roughly 1 hour, go check out Jeremy Warfel's channel. He's got a roundtable on with Adam from Proper Royals, Kai from Lucas Landon, and Stephen and Courtney, or Stephen or Courtney from Leviathan. So be sure, go check them out after you get some beverages, get some dinner in yourself. Go check that out. Thank you again for joining tonight. We'll see you next time.